If your marriage ends up on the rocks, many women think it's not as much of a problem as you might think. Half of women, apparently have a backup husband waiting in the wings.
Waiting in the wings?
Waiting in the wings. This is according to this.
Does this backup husband know he's a backup husband?
Many of them
Is he on
do,
board
yes.
with it?
Yes. Typically it's an old friend, like a former boyfriend or even an ex-husband or a colleague or someone they know at the gym. But in most cases, women say they've known the guy for about 7 years on average, and they believe he is, this is from the story, not me. They believe this guy is, quote, ready and waiting.
Oh?
25% of women, a quarter of these women who have a backup husband in mind, admit they have feelings that are as strong for the backup husband as they are for the current spouse.
Holy moly.
But they're not going to leave. They're not going to have an affair. They're not going to do any of that stuff. But if something happens, bammo or whammo, 70% of women who have a fallback guy say they are in current contact with him on some level, like he's a friend of theirs on Facebook.
Or they text or
text, or they'll occasionally run into each other here or there. Mm-hmm. Are men aware of this? Down at the very bottom it says, are men aware of this? 50% of women who have a backup say their husband is aware of how they feel. 33% of women say the husband is very uncomfortable discussing this. And 20% of the husbands joke about it.
Oh, my.
So that tells you where your priorities are. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of anything like this.
I haven't, but I feel like, I'm really far behind. I mean, I've never even heard of a backup husband.
Backup husbands.
I can't even think of anybody I would want to be my backup husband.
Well,
yeah.
Well, this is half of women. So
I
obviously
gotta make
you're in
more
the other
friends.
Half of women?
It says here, half of women apparently have
that
a
means
backup.
one of us, Carrie. One of us have a backup husband.
Jim, Carrie, and Angie in the morning on Classic Hits 101.7.